Greetings, my Dragonkin. This is Dragonborn, Dragon Sage. I think get the memo, and as always, if you like the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and definitely share. I think you kind of get the gist from there. And yes, we have some more gaming news today. I know I've been slacking on a couple things. Sorry, just was going through a depression storm. Anywho, I'm kind of getting right back into it. But anyways, I already talked about at least this one up, as you probably have seen, at least a little briefly of the Steam Machine or the Gabecube, which is right up, you know, at least you're watching this would be like my thumbnail of this, because honestly it's actually good, but at the exact same time I don't know. And I know usually I will do like the little semi-salt, you know, with a little bit gaming news, but with hashtag semi-salt. That's just basically gaming news with fanboys reacting, but I just said just go straight into gaming news. But anyways, here's the article. And of course I'll leave this in the link description below. Don't worry, I'll probably end up going through each one. As you've seen, like this one is just about a year, 2 hours ago. I mean 22 hours ago, 20 hours ago, and this one and that one. So I just figured at least go to the latest, to the at least closest to 2 days. But anyways, I do apologize. So I'll leave this article in the link description below as always. So anyways,
and here we go.
According to Claire Davis, if I said that correctly, mentioned about how Steam Machine could remove the hassle from PC gaming, save the trip, save the analyze parasites for another trip shopping.
What?
Okay, here's the thing. As far as I'm aware of, it is a gaming PC. It's a small PC. It's been soldered into the motherboard. And if you're gonna say, well, you could just upgrade the RAM, how are you gonna do that when you don't know how to solder? That's a question I want to ask. But anyways, I just figured at least go ahead and get into this and just like, you know, get my own thoughts and opinions like usual. But anyways, I'm very much a console girl. Sure, I play games on PC, but I largely prefer console experience. Okay, I could definitely understand this coming from me that has been more into, well, yes, I was more into PC because of, you know, doing like videos and live streams and stuff, but once I have my downtime and when I hook up with my friends and swerve cases, I go for console. But lately, how things kind of go with, at least with consoles, I just switch over to PC. And I just figured it'd be better just to go full on PC from here on out, because at least I don't be stuck in a trapped, closed ecosystem when I can be on open ecosystem like PC. So anyways, sorry about that. It's just, but I can definitely see this one at least being the console experience, because usually consoles would be a little bit more cheaper, but now the consoles are getting up in price when it should be going down in price. But anyways, when a new game comes out, I don't have to worry about upgrading my PS5 or Xbox Series X. Just hit new game and away we go.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
Although I could see on that side, but most of all, you can do that with your PC, because I know most people that I talk to, or at least most of what I heard, can do that with your PC. Yes, even though you have to upgrade a few things. Or most of all, you can just wait for 5 or 10 years, possibly up to 15 if you have a real high-end PC. Like at most, like a high-end that will last you 15 to 20 years at most. And I know that's where probably some say, oh hey, this is my dream PC since X, Y, and Z from this year, and it lasted up to 15 years at most. And yes, even though you could do that, oh, just hit new game and away we go, but yeah, you can do that with PC. Yes, even though you have to upgrade, you know, have to make sure your drivers are updated, you know, from your CPU to GPU and everything else in between, you know, that's on the motherboard, so on and so forth. But when it's done, all you gotta do is just hit update for at least your operating system, and you're fine off the go. But anyways, that's a part of the recent announced PC console hybrid that the Steam Machine. It's a PC. It's just a small PC, as it could be a PC. I swear, I think the journalists usually just want to go with the hype news because they know they got paid. But anyways, it is so appealing to me. My current PC struggles to play modern games, and I'm long overdue for an upgrade. Here's the thing. If you say that your current PC struggles with those modern games, again, I gotta ask, what's your specs to it? What's your CPU? What's your GPU? What's your RAM? What's your storage? What power supply are you using? Like, trust me, I can go into detail and might see why. And yes, I can see like a long overdue upgrade, which honestly, this is good too, because guess what? Sometimes you last up to five years at most. Oh, my system right now can probably last 5 years, even though I'm probably switching out my 6800 to the 5070 with Nvidia because I'm getting really damn tired with AMD's BS. But lately with the new software update with the Adrenaline, I think it kind of works out now. But I'm probably just switch over to mostly, in my opinion, over with Nvidia with the 5070. And yes, I know about the DLSS and stuff like that. And I am quite aware about the others. It's just lately, I've been having just problems with the GPU. It's just, I think it's behind the coding that's just not really optimized well with most settings of OBS, games, or whatever cases. However, if you're just playing this just normally, it's great. But if you're like extreme, you may have some struggles or hiccups. But anyway, sorry, I know I went off a little bit topic, but again, what's your GPU? What's your CPU? Like, what are your specs here? I'm also not a huge hardware person. Okay, I can understand that. I do. Hell, I do. Before I built my own PCs, I'm forced always into PCs with somebody I don't really trust, and the water on the bridge right now, even though I won't give them proper context, shall we say. I wasn't into the big or huge, nerd of hardware either. But however, once I finally learned and did some of my research, build some, and my current one, I actually kind of at least understand, so I can kind of get that. Anyways, Scene's pre-built all-in-one Scene machine is a dream come true, and it's at leastly gaming, if I said that one, because it sounds like least and ugly, leastly gaming box on the market right now, which is true. Valve's Cube is less boring than Xbox Series X. I'm not sure about this one, so I haven't really, myself, I've been more of a gaming, Sony, Nintendo, and PC. That's it. So I can't really say for Xbox myself. Although I played a little bit of Xbox 360 because with my friend way back then, but yeah. But I'm not quite sure about right here. As far as practical, then a PS5 wirely curvy can't fit anywhere in design. There's even a comparison to the Cube version. Yeah, as much as we've probably been seeing, at least right here, I can definitely say the curvy, but if you got PS5 Slim, you can just take off a couple things and you can sit it anywhere or make it stand. But I will definitely get some points here. Yes, I could see this being a very optimized for people who started, because that's the whole point. However, like I said in my video, or showing the exact same thumbnail again, I can see the VRAM not having enough. Even with 8 gigs of VRAM, going with FSR, going to have to turn down a couple things. Okay, but what about if somebody wants to stream this? Yes, even though as much, VRAM, anybody can tell you, if you go for just for 8, it's kind of really losing more points, because most games now are requiring up to at least 10 gigs of VRAM, or at least at most to recommended to 16. If you got 20, you're good for at least for another 20 years at most. That's the only downside. Now, however, the pricing still up to vary. I can see 450, but I can see it going all the way up to 500 or no later than 600 if you do your PC part picker right. Again, I don't know what else is there, but I know at least what Valve has been saying, showed up with at least their specs of this thing, of the Gabecube, or Valve Steam Machine, or Valve Cube, wherever you want to call this. I'll still call it Gabecube. It's still, in my personal opinion, that I'm just looking at the VRAM. Yes, even with the SteamOS, if you don't have enough gigs of RAM for most modern games, even with FSR, you're going to get that message and saying, hey, stupid, you don't have enough VRAM, please check your GPU. And if you don't have any ways to upgrade this, how in the hell are you gonna play most modern games? That means, if I say that correctly, on top of the other one, I can see it being like how they did with the Steam Deck. I probably will have, okay, here's this one that has 8, here's one has 10, and here's one has 16. Because that's what they did with the Steam Deck. So they could probably have that like coming down the pipeline. But if they just want to have this, but then they will have like, oh hey, here's some more to this, you know? So that's just what I want to say. But yeah, I can definitely see at least the PS5 because I ain't even seen like it being like, oh hey, this is like a router type thing, you know? But anyways, let's go ahead and get back into this topic. The Steam Machine could also be things for easier for non-tech savvy individuals who want to buy someone a PC but don't know where to start. Little Timmy wants a PC with VR headset for his birthday. Grandma can pick up the Steam Machine and Valve's new VR headset, the Steam Frame, without worries, which games can be accessible or struggling to compare headset specs that can read like gibberish. And yeah, and that's the whole point of the Steam Machine and what that was kind of doing, because it's just trying to get people into that's not tech savvy to start with at least PC. Because Steam Deck is a PC handheld, because that's what it is. Now, if you have this, you know, Gabecube, it's just starting that. And I can definitely see this, and that's pretty good. All you gotta do is just update this OS and make sure your games are compatible. Guess what? You're good. And most of the time, games are going to go to platinum if you have part-time badges. So yes, I can definitely agree with this. There are two caveats here. We don't know how much the Steam Machine is, Steam Frame, or a new Steam controller will cost. We don't know how long the Steam Machine projected lifespan is. And yes, this is definitely true. I think they're just holding off at least then. I can see it being announced at least in January, probably no more than February, or even possible if they go this route. Make it at least probably sometime in December, they will release an actual thing and say, okay, here's the prices, pre-order, and we kind of will know. My guess is it's $450, because if that beats, because that will beat most of it. If they're calling price how the Steam Deck is, which, speaking of that, before I forget, I did hear that there's going to be a Steam Deck sale. If you've been waiting for that, trust me, there's going to be at least that, because also be kind of nice if they actually do. And from what I heard, knocking on wood here, the Steam OLED can be on sale, which is honestly really good. And that'd be also good because, like Steam said, it's very compatible with the Steam Deck. But yes, although like she said here, but anyways, it's just, this is definitely true. I can definitely see the Steam Machine project like for the 8GB, probably at least 3, maybe 4 years at most. Historically, consoles can't be really future-proof. You stick with one until you have a game you want, launches exclusively on the next gen
A moral campus. Now let's not get crazy here.
console. Then you upgrade. The Steam Machine's SSD can be upgraded, but its GPU can't. And that's the problem right there. And honestly, exclusives are going to go, so what's the point? In general, like, seriously, what is the point of having this? You know, having all these exclusives on one thing when it's going to come over to PC one way or another. Even if it's not official, guess what? It's another place just to play your Steam games. I mean, your PSN games or your Xbox games. Most likely your Nintendo games, if you emulated them. Legally backed up, okay? Don't shoot me, Nintendo. I know you can send your freaking ninjas at me again. I say legally here in the US, it's legally backed up. You know how much Nintendo doesn't like that. But yes, she does make a good point here about at least the SSD, which I was looking at, and I did see like a picture of it. Yeah, you can definitely do it. I think it's like it's somewhere on the bottom. You may have to take a couple screws off, take it off, and upgrade it to like maybe a 4, maybe an 8, because it's just like the exact same thing of the Steam Deck, like the mini Nvme. I'm hoping on one side of the coin is too, because I get why they want to go with like the mini Nvme. Here, let me go ahead and find this. Like this for right here. I'm just using this for example. Although, yes, I know probably could have just gone with at least a 4. Because lately I've been kind of posting this. Yes, I got the 2TB because it's from Crucial, so I'm like, okay. I know it's 3rd gen, so I can see this as being 4. However, if you can have this in your Steam Machine or Gabecube, I promise if they would, if I was at least Valve, you don't have just to have this. Oh, it says Gen 4, but you know that looks like P3, which is Gen 3, but no, it's actually Gen 4. I looked at it wrong, I know. But anyways, not just like this one, but maybe like the whole thing, you know, like the whole VM, you know, the M.2, like the whole length, go up to 4 terabytes. Now, I understand with the Steam Deck, you had to go for smaller. I get that, and of course, if you have the dock for yourself, you can at least put it up and, you know, then if you have an external NVMe V1, you can put a full size in there, or an SSD. However, with this one, I can give it a pass because it is for like a smaller like handheld, so I understand. But if it's the Gabecube one, I wish that they would just, if you can get a full SSD NVMe .2 or NVMe M2 or however you want to say this thing, have it fully, full length, and if you can put that in your Gabecube, you're more off to the races. Hopefully that's what Steam's going to do, because if it's just for that, then it's kind of like to me a waste. To me it's a little bit of a waste. Just why not? I know I went off topic, but you can't get it, which is frustrating for some users who want more customized experience. SteamOS software engineering prior loop Griffiths, I know I probably butchered this, I do apologize, says third-party Steam machine style hybrids may become available from other vendors. Featuring different hardware will allow customers to choose the right SteamOS products for their needs. That opens the door for more feature proofing possible, which is actually really good. I know I said this in my video one time, but I do have SteamOS on a USB hard drive because, well, since I was actually upgrading my Steam Deck, my Steam Deck, which I probably end up showing right here, that I was going from the 12-bit 512 all the way to 2 terabyte because I figured that's good enough for me for at least for whatever games I want to play on my backlog, or most of the games I want on my Steam Deck and play while I'm on the go or out somewhere. I can do that. However, if it's gonna be a lot better, I can probably do it on my next PC build, because I'm looking at Linux, and if Windows does get their heads out of their ass and out of the clouds too, if Windows 12 be an actually good system and can compare to Linux, aka SteamOS, then you have good competition. But if it's just the exact same bloatware that they didn't listen to, guess what? I'll go over to Linux with SteamOS. Now, however, I may reinstall SteamOS or hell, go with Baslite, just saying. But I can definitely see this one as well, and definitely future-proofing, I do agree. But these alternative Steam machines are hypothetical at this point. Yeah, definitely. And she goes on to here, yeah, the rest of it be like right there. So anyways, I'm gonna get to this one. I'm already hitting 22 marks and already ran on. But anyways, cost is another factor. Would I buy a Steam machine if it was similar to a PS5 Pro? Sure, I absolutely will buy one for $700 to $800. Would I buy a Steam machine relative to a PC price? Maybe, but I'm currently not dropping $1,200 to $2,000 on a hardware difficult or downright impossible to upgrade without thinking long and hard about it first.
Oh my god, I think I gained a chromosome hearing all that.
Here's the thing. You did say, and I quote, that you would at least buy a PS5 Pro that's kind of like that right here. But yet, we don't know the actual price. But you just didn't say, oh hey, but I would rather buy, $700 to $800. That's pushing it for the Steam machine at most. That's overdoing it if it goes through 800. Because if it does come out to like this, I'm just going to throw out a number, at least if it's all in one. But if you have a Steam Deck, then I can see this be like 900 at least for the Steam machine, Steam controller, and the VR headset. Because guess what? You already have one, so you don't have to go to 1200 or 12 grand. But you know it, I know it, everybody in the grandmother and the family trees can say, scalpers gonna get on their hands. They're gonna probably push for 200 to 300 at most. $2,000 to $3,000 at most. Because guess what? That's how they do. I still will not get a Steam machine for 700 to 800. 600 at max for me, if it's just itself. And yes, you can wishlist it, but we still don't know the price. So this is good. But then you said maybe, but yet.
And here we go.
But here you are just saying, oh yeah, I'll just buy a console because I get the same thing. But you're not sure about 1,200 to $2,000 when you can build a freaking PC that's $2,000 that can literally be future-proofed all the way to the damn max at most. Yes, tech goes down, that's true. But however, if you build a $2,000, even at least my PC, because I actually did a video here, like my PC right now, it's at least 1,100 to $2,000. I mean 1,200 at most. Like this number right here. At most, I'm still good for at least probably 2 more years. So again, what's the problem of having download, right? Maybe I'm playing. I know I'm probably playing double good advocate here. About at least I would think in myself is the Xbox ROG Ally, which is honestly not fucking worth it. Thank you, Alec, for at least getting that video out. I do 100% agree with you. Get a Steam Deck. I've been saying get a Steam Deck. I know Frit's been saying get a Steam Deck. I know Gara's been saying get a Steam Deck. I think Leslie did too. I know at least, oh no, it's Alex said it too. Just get a Steam Deck. You will have a lot better time with that better handheld than just getting a freaking $12,000 freaking just a cool little thing that just slaps just an Xbox because it's going to sell well. Good job with that. But still, and I'm going right back to this, but yet you're willing to spend $800 to $700 on a console that's not even worth the damn price, but yet you don't want to spend $1,200 to $2,000 for a PC that you can possibly build in 5 years, or last you 5 years, and then maybe you want to slap in a new GPU by then. But I can definitely see at least right here, and I can agree with that, because if it's just like, oh well, I can't upgrade a lot of this stuff, yeah, I definitely agree with that. But build a PC, you know, just build a good custom desktop that is specifically to your liking, and you won't be disappointed, because at least by then you can just, oh hey, maybe my RAM's gone, okay, I can just get another kit, put it in, call it a day. Oh hey, maybe I want to upgrade my CPU depending on what platform you're on, okay? You know, yes, it's gonna be a headache, but at least you have more options that way. Laptops, yeah, I don't see a way to upgrade it unless you have storage and the RAM upgrades. That's it. But anywho, let's get right into it. Valve says it wants to keep Steam Machine's price as portable and affordable as possible, but we still have no idea how much that will cost. Yes, we still don't know. Unfortunately, Valve's new PC console hybrid could be both worth or worse until we know more about the Steam Machine's upgradable ability. Its price point, whatever or may not. Half-Life 3 will be debunked as launch, so it's hard to know for sure.
What?
I get it, you want to keep saying it's a console hybrid. Thing is, Steam itself said it is a PC. It's a PC to bring those who are not into the gaming sphere like we are up to the current, you know, to get them, hey, you want this? Here you go. Hey, all you gotta do, just make sure you have your Steam account and internet connection, and you're welcome to the open. It is a PC, and it's just trying to mimic a PC, a main form of a PC, even though I know there's like a lot of them about, at least what I saw, like a miniature PCs that you can build as a desktop, and those are actually kind of cool. I'm looking at this one. I do agree with her on this price. We still don't know what idea. I'm guessing 400 because I agree with it, the Angry Vigilante, but I can see going up to 600 at most. However, if they're doing this like what they did with the Steam Deck, I can see a very possibility of them probably just releasing a upgradable, because like they did with the Steam Deck, because they had the Steam Deck LCD, but then like a few months or a few years later, oh hey, now we will release a Steam Deck OLED edition. They're gonna probably do the exact same thing with the Steam Machine. I'm probably going to say this one, I'm probably looking at 450 at the lowest to the highest to 600. Because if it's gonna be under 700 to 800, I can see 600. I can be simply say about 500, maybe even more possible than 600. Or they're probably just going off with the Steam Deck. Because if they're gonna price this console. There I go again. Thanks, Lewis Clark Davis. If they're going to price the Steam Machine like this, they're going to probably, in my rough estimate, it's going to be something like this. You know, I could probably see at least 550. Probably no more than 600. Maybe 650. Although that'd be really pushing it. But if they release more of the Steam Machine, it's probably gonna be something like this. That's just my rough guess right there, okay? And I'm just using that as a reference. I don't know. You don't know. Everybody else don't know. But However, this is a Steam machine. However, yes, I get it. It's just play to the means of, well, hey, it's a Steam. It's just a console hybrid. But again, all consoles are freaking are like PCs, but downgraded all the way down to the strip, almost to watered down and make it more close off system. So again, we'll have to wait and see where this will go, because I'm not quite positive at most where this will go, as much as you or me, but I can see this where, at least for anybody, just like Claire just did say, it's just like, oh hey mom, I want to get a PC. She's like, okay, well, we know what specs or whatever cases. She might not know. Same with dad, or same with grandma. If they can look into something like this, and yes, it's very compatible with the Steam frame. I won't say Steam VR, but you can get the gist. It's actually more set up for that, and most of all, you can actually probably do boot from SteamOS for one, then to Windows 10 or 11, at least Windows 11, and probably at least whenever this video does come out, and probably by then probably age like wine or like milk. And here comes Windows 12, just saying. But anyways, that's just what I'll probably end up giving this one off. I just figured I'd at least get some thoughts here, and there's just some things I could definitely say. Remember, it's a PC. Steam has said this loud and clear. Oh no else, just say it. Quote tweet, it's a PC. It's supposed to be, I can see it being like so small that it beats out like these mini PCs that you probably see around on the internet. Very good, but most tech companies or YouTubers, excuse me, have shown how to build a very small, a mini PC, but this one be like the super mini, but whatever cases, I can see it being kind of like right there. Again, maybe I could probably see pushing up to 600 at most. But any past 600, that's like really pushing it, and people are probably gonna lose interest. However, if there's gonna be a bundle, because then it's 1200, maybe $2,000. But if you already got one thing, because I know Steam goes, hey, you already purchased this, well, you don't have to worry about at least the rest of it. So maybe you just want the Steam machine and the Steam frame, maybe pay $800 because it's a bundle. Anyways, I think that's it. I know you're probably hearing me stop rambling and whatever cases. So as always, we'll see where this goes. And as always, once you're gonna Dragonborn's Dragon King. If you like so, don't forget to burn the like button, click the subscribe button to join the family Dragonborn's Dragon King. Like, comment, share, and ring that bell. Will help out a lot. And hopefully see y'all next time. As always, farewell for now.